Is it a coincidence that I am sending you this message right now? No, it is not. It is one of the divine laws of the universe and heaven. Yes, the law of attraction. You feel extremely lucky that I am sending you this message, don't you? Before moving on to the message, please like the video to help spread this message to others, dear soul. Additionally, you must receive and accept the message with love. If you write "I received and accepted it with love" in the comments and seal it with 444, you will maintain the balance of giving and receiving. Don't forget to stay tuned and subscribe for our other messages. Says Archangel Michael. Now we can slowly move on to the message. I know you didn't open this by accident. Something brought you here. Something divine. Someone, watching you from above, begged heaven for hours to give you this moment. This is not just a message, so your soul must have been drawn to it. This miracle is encrypted. One made exclusively for the selected. Now pay close attention because I'm about to say something that is only for you. Shut the door. Quiet down because something spiritual, startling, and supernatural is going to start in your life in precisely 2 minutes. You indeed. The one who has been silently suffering. The person who has been anticipating a sign. The person who feels left behind. Heaven is aware of everything. And they react today. God is no longer merely whispering. God is pleading with you to adhere to this teaching. Because you might miss the one glorious moment your entire soul has been longing for if you scroll away and disregard this once more, like you always do. I don't say it lightly because a miracle is about to happen on August 3St. It will flow after being blocked for years. You will get something back that was taken from you. When no one else is around, someone who left will turn around and say every prayer you uttered. In front of the throne of Archangel Michael, they are being unfolded like holy scrolls. He perused them. He cried over them. He stood up for them. And now he's performing the miracle you no longer believe you deserve. But you know what? You should give that some thought because if your heart skipped even a beat when you read this, you already sense the love letter that is about to happen. If your heart is pounding right now and you know that this is for you, then hit the follow or subscribe button right away because heaven will still try to get in touch with you through this place. If you experience chills, it is proof. Don't let this holy connection to be severed once more. This message isn't written in ink, so now lean in. In divine fire, it is written. Tell them this is their time. Tell them to pay attention, urges Archangel Michael. You may not be aware of it yet, but the air around you is already changing. Spirits are moving. A guardian has been standing by your window last night, watching, waiting, protecting. Do you remember waking up at 3 a.m.? That wasn't a coincidence. Tell them that if they skip this one, the heavens will go silent for a while because this alignment is rare and this timing is sacred. You have been under divine surveillance. Your tears have been kept in golden jars, and every sign was guiding you here because heaven is trying to warn you. Do you recall hearing your name whispered when no one else was around? That wasn't your imagination. Do you remember seeing lights flicker, numbers repeating, and people chatting about God at random? Do you know what it means that your life is about to divide into 2 timelines? One in which you skip this message and keep wondering why everything seems to be on hold, because your broken dreams have been folded into scrolls and set at God's feet. Now they're unfolding. The miracle is not far away. It won't happen next year or next month. It will enter your life in 2 minutes, but only for those who stay, believe, keep reading, and don't scroll because this moment is sacred. It's not a message, it's a visitation. It's a moment where you listen and unlock the destiny you've been pleading with the universe for. This is your proof. This is God defying protocol, Archangel Michael stepping out of spiritual court to knock directly on the gates of your heart and saying, Chosen one, you are about to see why it never worked out with anyone else. Please send me proof that you are real. Please just give me a hint that I matter. Please show me that I haven't been forgotten. For you alone, this miracle is. You are no longer need to beg. You are no longer required to pursue. Whether heaven hears you or not, you don't have to weep yourself to sleep. They do. They're also going quickly. However, most people are unaware of this. This message is not understood by everyone. Just a few. Only those who are sufficiently spiritually enlightened may perceive the divine, even in digital media. Only those whose soul frequency coincides with the current vibration of heaven. Yours does too. Never wonder how or why. Be aware of your selection and the impending events. Will make you bow down in appreciation. There will be a sign before the end of the day. A message, a number, a phone call, a coincidence so exact that it will make you freeze. That proves to you that this was not a scroll moment. It was a call to worship. Unbeknownst to you, a powerful person is going to bring up your name. As we speak, a breakthrough is being signed in heaven. Someone who forgot you will shudder with the depth of their memory of you. Here's the trick, though. You can't tell anyone. It's a private miracle. This is a sacred calling. You could lose the entire shift if you share it before it's finished. Keep everything between us, Michael says. This is between you, me, and heaven. Trust the process. Keep silent and see how everything changes. A spiritual rebirth is happening. The miracle isn't just outside of you. Because when God moves, nothing stays the same, and He is moving right now. Let this be your first miracle today. You didn't skip this. You stayed. You obeyed that tiny pull in your chest, that whisper that said, "Don't scroll away yet." In a few days, you won't even recognize yourself. The lack will disappear, the confusion will melt into clarity, and the anxiety will be replaced by peace. And as a result of that obedience, you are now in line for the greatest blessing your lineage has ever experienced. Not just for you, but also for those who come after you. This is spiritual restoration, legacy, and divine inheritance, and it is yours. You stayed even though your mind tried to tell you that this was just another message. This was written in your destiny. From the day you were born, heaven has had moments like this written in the scroll of your life. Even when doubt tried to whisper, "You've seen this before." Fear pleaded with you to scroll away before you believed again. But your soul ignored it because it remembered something your mind had forgotten. Moments when the divine threads begin to come together, and all the silence breaks. Although you may not be able to see it yet, the spiritual world is moving around you at the moment. Archangel Michael is deleting the names of those who betrayed you from the next phase of your life, and angels are setting up conversations behind your back. Because when God is about to change everything, He always sends a warning first, not to scare you but to prepare you. This isn't a casual update, it's a heavenly alert. He is preparing your divine circle. People who don't gossip about you, who don't compete with you, who carry you, protect you, and celebrate you. That's the kind that only occurs when a major change is about to happen. Have you noticed a strange pressure in the air lately? Like something is approaching but you can't identify it? It's not a hunch. It's your soul's way of telling you when your time will come. Because it is your turn, heaven has been silently replying up until this point. Even your enemies won't believe what Archangel Michael is going to do. God will allow the same people who mocked your delay to see your deliverance. But the most potent part is that it won't just be a miracle, it will be a multi-layered confirmation. This time you will cry, not out of pain, but out of pure sacred joy, because everything that broke you, everything that crushed you, everything you believed disqualified you, all of it was part of the plan. God didn't forget you. He was simply setting the stage so that when He did move, there would be no confusion about who sent the blessing. It wasn't luck, it wasn't people. It was Him. Now He's asking, will you trust me again? Not with half your heart, but with the same faith you had as a child, when you thought everything was possible, when your prayers were sincere, and when your hope was unwavering. God is calling back that version of you because the time is near. Because the enemy tries harder to divert your attention the closer you come to breakthrough, Michael explains. Don't give in. And the spiritual resistance you've been facing lately, the warfare, the delay, the sudden exhaustion. It's not coincidence. It's opposition. You will see what most people only dream of if you can wait a little while longer. There is no guarantee here. It is a confirmation of prophecy. You haven't entered the rooms where your name is being uttered. Those in positions of power are taking notice of your views. God is calling someone to get in touch with you. And it will be unexpected, that phone call, that email, that door. It won't be random, though. Heaven remembered your plea 3 months ago, so it will be exactly what you were hoping for. Simply said, God occasionally uses divine timing to conceal the solution. And that date is August 3St. Note it. Put it in a circle. God bless it, because you won't be the same at the end of that day. You'll be at peace again. You'll exude confidence. Your adversaries will stop talking, and you'll start testifying. If you could see what God is doing behind the scenes right now, it would blow your mind. That's why you're feeling unsure. Since an abrupt flip is approaching, things are being reconfigured. You will win where you were losing. You will ascend where they counted you out, where they declared it to be over. According to heaven, it's just getting started. It's not about them, listen. The purpose of this is not to disprove anyone. This is to demonstrate that faith was never squandered. God is going to give you a public breakthrough as a reward for your private devotion. Not because you begged, but because of your elevation. Those who believed you were done will have to see it. It was because you believed, not because you struggled. You maintained your faith despite the pain, the silence, and the seeming lack of change. And God is always aware of that. He has witnessed your heartbreaking moments as you stood in worship. He's seen how you helped others when you didn't have much yourself. He has witnessed your sleepless evenings due to stress. He has also witnessed your graceful handling of your suffering. He's going to carry you immediately. This miracle won't need to be pursued by you. It's after you. It has been attempting to get in touch with you. And the last doorway is this message. Because you will remember this moment when the blessing arrives. God will remind you that you were warned. That Michael issued an alert. That you had 2 minutes to think something crazy was about to happen. And you made the decision to believe based on your emotions rather than reason. You choose to have faith in God. Your life is going to fall apart in the most positive way possible as a result. From ignored to selected, from perplexed to enlightened, from barely living to bursting, from delay to divine speed, you are about to undergo a transformation. Heaven has ceased to wait. All that's needed of you right now is for the gates to open. Maintain your alignment. Remain optimistic. Avoid giving away your miracle too soon. Additionally, don't discount what has already been sent. Angels are in motion. The wind is changing. Heaven's courts are calling your name. We are currently rewriting your tale. And it ends beautifully in this rendition. And as this message keeps pouring into your soul, I want you to take a moment to breathe and understand that this is more than just a time for solace. It has to do with activation. The heavenly world has been anticipating your arrival. God is now releasing the things that were withheld because you have aligned, your heart is open, and your spirit is listening. The moment wasn't right, not because you weren't deserving. Heaven, however, is now completely in agreement. There will be no more delays. They're unlocking the doors. You would never enter those rooms, they said. For you, they're opening. Your name is inscribed in spiritual gold on doors you aren't even aware exist yet, not by coercion or manipulation, as well as the pull you've been experiencing recently. You can't describe that weird feeling that something is going to happen. Spiritual alignment is that. When your spirit senses that the angels are forming around you, they are getting ready to take you into the next chapter, which God has already finished before you even asked. You might have believed that you were lagging behind, that you had missed the mark, or that your opportunity had been lost due to too many errors. However, heaven doesn't follow human schedules. Additionally, what you believed to be a breakdown turned out to be a covert reset. Because what you were clinging to would have crumbled beneath the weight of your next blessing, God allowed some things to break apart. Loved one, you didn't lose it. The next step is not minor, which is why you were saved from it. It's not typical. You shouldn't try to solve it on your own. You simply need to do one thing to experience this full spiritual acceleration. The key to opening the vault is your faith, that mustard seed-sized, weary, quivering faith. Not your performance or perfection, but your courage to say, God, I still believe even now. Michael is already moving. Do you know what that implies? It indicates that heaven is already carrying it out while you sit here wondering how it will happen. The tide is turning in your favor. We're waiting on emails you haven't sent yet. Those who used to ignore you will now feel compelled to give you a call. And God will make your name have an unavoidable presence, so you won't even need to explain yourself. This is not hyperbole. This isn't lyrical hyperbole. This is the reality of prophecy. Additionally, your breakthrough's spiritual blueprint has the heavenly timestamp of August 3St. Certain things simply cannot be hurried. Perfect preparation was necessary for the kind of gifts God is releasing for you. There was no punishment for you. They were protecting you, shielded against premature leaping, shielded from making inappropriate connections, shielded from self-destruction. And now God is responding quickly because you stayed, because you didn't leave, because you still had the courage to hope. Divine speed, not human speed. In 10 days, what should have taken 10 years will happen. Things that you believed would be difficult will come easily. And when the correct yes unexpectedly appears, every no that broke you will suddenly make sense. I want you to know how much heaven has put into you. You weren't a stranger. We didn't forget you. Your name was spoken by God during a council concerning your life that took place in heaven. The fact that Archangel Michael was assigned to you is significant. This implies that you win regardless of how gloomy things get, how many people betray you, or how loudly the enemy roars. Because your victory isn't reliant on your physical prowess, you may cry and stumble, but ultimately you will rise. It is rooted in heavenly power. Furthermore, no force on earth or in hell can stop God's decrees. This is where you will be challenged. But the miracle is hidden there. You have to keep your atmosphere safe. It is not enough to simply carry this word and carry on as usual. You cannot amuse doubtful folks while speaking life over your fate. Being among individuals who think, act, and pray small is incompatible with being ready for a breakthrough. It is necessary to consecrate this new chapter. Yes, you will be who you are. Yes, you will continue to love, laugh, and take pleasure in life. However, your soul must remain pure. What you're holding today is too valuable to be lost through casual association. Therefore, you need to maintain your energy levels high and your eyesight clear. There is a new you that rises without pleading, without shrinking to fit in, and without justifying your anointing to people who never valued it. In this message, in this moment, in the silence between your heartbeats, that version is being created. And others will gaze in wonder when it completely emerges. It's not because you want to impress people, but rather because God's glory will be evident in your life. The best part is that you won't need to provide any proof. The fruit, the radiance, the benefits, and your presence will all have a voice. Don't rush it, though. You don't have to force the result just because the promise is near. Get some rest. Give it a chance. Let the phone ring. Wait for the email to appear. Allow the discussion to change in your favor. It is not your responsibility to influence the result. It is your responsibility to maintain heavenly trust. Because the miracle is being planned by the same God who brought you this message. This wasn't sent by him merely to motivate you. He gave you this to let you know that something you've been praying for, or perhaps you forgot to ask for, is already on its way. You have now been allocated divine messengers. They're not slow. In the spirit world, there is a sense of urgency. And you're reading this for that reason. You couldn't ignore it because of this. Because of this, you know deep down that this is different from what it used to be. This is true. Heaven follows a pattern. Additionally, God always sends forth a notice when he is ready to move. That announcement is contained in this mail. The heavenly trumpet has been sounded by Archangel Michael. The change has already started. And you're not late, dear. You're on time. Additionally, you might experience the sound of the spiritual trumpet not in your ears, but rather in your bones, chest, and the areas of your heart that you previously believed had been numb. Resonance, not imagination, is the gentle tug inside you and the flutter that appears as truth enters your soul. Because what you're reading right now is more than just words. They're keys. Additionally, every statement releases a chain that has been stuck inside of you for too long. Griefs of the past are crumbling. Ancient vows are breaking. The old boundaries are vanishing. Even as you breathe, the things you persuaded yourself would never change are changing. Even if you can't see it yet, the spirit is moving. A rhythm is developing behind the veil, and you can hear angels' footsteps echoing in the hallways where you used to cry by yourself. The sound of miraculous restoration will now permeate those halls. God is now elevating your mission through the same pain that laid the groundwork for you. It wasn't for nothing that you made it through everything. It was a training session. The fire was holy, and with a soul that shines like gold, you survived it. You didn't have to be flawless for God. You have to be there for Him. It wasn't necessary for you to always know the correct prayers or say the appropriate words. You only needed to live long enough to receive this message. And heaven seems promising now that you're here. Your losses will be outweighed by what lies ahead. Yes, the weight you've been bearing in private will be lifted, even the unseen burden you never discuss. It was because you changed, not because things changed first. You have crossed the spiritual threshold. Your faith evolved from requiring proof to being the proof when you reached that point. Signs are no longer necessary for you to believe. The sign is you. The gentleness that endures in your heart despite all the betrayal, the sparkle in your eyes. It's not a sign of weakness. That's a sign that God still loves you very much. Despite everything, you are still here. Therefore, your story is not over. Not even close. Because the most potent parts of any spiritual journey follow immediately after the darkest nights. It's actually just beginning to get beautiful. You weren't supposed to be destroyed by the season you just crawled out of. It was intended to eliminate any identity, connection, or delusion that didn't match your true self. In order to rebuild with truth, God had to destroy all that was based on survival. And the shaking occurred for that reason. It felt like things were being yanked out of your hands because of this. You weren't being punished by Him. He was preparing the ground and creating way for something much more dependable, holy, and you. Ordinary has never been you. You've always known that in your heart. The odd sense that you are different from everyone else. It's accurate. You're not. You are a vibration with spiritual codes. A strength and gentleness that is unreplicable. Your life has never looked like anyone else's because of this. Why your journey has always been more spiritual, solitary, and intense. God marked you for that reason. Before you took your first breath, He chose you. And you stood out while others sought to blend in. It was preparation, that holy seclusion you hated for years. That was heaven protecting you until the right moment. And a component of that revelation is this Augst 3St spiritual awakening and unfolding marvel. But pay close attention to what I have to say. You have to keep this safe. This type of light cannot be carried while engaging in angry and fear-filled dialogue. You cannot expect your faith to shine while scrolling through darkness. People that drain your energy and expect to soar are not worthy of your soul. Collaboration is necessary to accomplish this miracle. There is only God in you. And things will start to fall away when you're in divine alignment. People, customs, and outdated ways of thinking. Although it may feel like a loss, it isn't. It's out. Because the amount of blessing that can fall when the doors swing open will depend on the space you clear now. And the doors are flinging open, my dear. You didn't knock on not one, not two, but several doors. You believed that doors were sealed. Others attempted to lock the doors. Every gatekeeper who believed they had control over your path is being circumvented by heaven. The same individuals who attempt to keep you down will be forced to witness you rise in one miraculous moment. In divine vindication, not in conceit. Because when God intervenes in your life, He does so in a way that makes it impossible for anyone to ignore His mark. Let's talk about that miracle once more. The one that is just a few days away. It's not merely an unexpected moment. It's the opposite. The withheld information will be made public. The legal landscape will start to change in your favor. Suddenly, financial burdens will be resolved. Reports on health will start to shift. Generational wounds will start to heal and restore relationships. And those you believed were permanently gone. Some of them might come back to heal something old, not to harm you again. You won't lose yourself attempting to save someone this time, though. You will eventually select yourself because you will walk with such clarity. And miracles multiply in that selection. You are no longer being called upon to pursue. Someone is calling you to receive. You're not being asked to prove yourself, hustle, or beg. Someone is calling you to align. Yes has already been confirmed by the divine. Now all you have to do is allow your heart to remain open long enough for the miracle to occur. There is nothing further you need to do. You don't need to change who you are. All you need to do is trust. And when you start to trust, things will start to come your way like rivers coming home. You were never abandoned or forgotten. You were merely getting ready for a miracle that would be as large as your wounds. You can't let dread dictate your choices now that it's arrived. Fear will warn you to expect the worst. However, love, God's love, will warn you to expect the best. Because you won't just be restored by what lies ahead. It will extend past you. Generations will be impacted. The testimony will be of the sort that your children's children will discuss with awe. When they accepted God, something changed in our lineage. They will say, and they will be correct as you are saying yes at this precise moment, and this message is sacred. You don't need to be aware of what will happen next. Simply remain around the person who does. And this story you're living won't end in regret, I assure you. The conclusion will be glorious. And as this sacred unfolding draws to a close, you need to realize something that is rarely discussed. Miracles are more than just enchanted disruptions of the natural world. They're fixes. Timelines that were disrupted have been corrected. Redress for falsehoods that have been told throughout your life. Revisions to the incorrect individuals you trusted. The incorrect routes you believed you needed to follow in order to live. A miracle from heaven is not a reward. It serves as a reminder, reminding you of your true self. A heavenly redirection back to the course that was predetermined for you before fear changed the course. That's what's going on right now. God is changing the direction. Angels are already in motion. What was supposed to occur years ago but was postponed, buried, or opposed is now happening with divine urgency. You feel the way you do because of this. The unexpected emotional waves that crash, the goosebumps that appear out of nowhere, and the spiritual static in your chest are not random. They are indicators and signs. Evidence that anything that is not yet visible has already started. Heaven is currently doing more for you than you could have imagined. It is mending the wounds from childhood that you no longer discuss. It involves taking down the imperceptible barriers that have been put in your way. It involves reversing the spiritual damage caused by those who claim to love you. You didn't even verbally pray for some of the things you're about to receive because the anguish was so great that you forgot how to ask. However, God is able to recall. He recalls each silent supplication. Every time you lay in bed, looking up at the ceiling with a lips too exhausted to pray and a heart full of questions. He recalls how you broke down in the dark and grinned during the day. He recalls the things you had to give up in order to survive, not because you didn't want them. He is now bringing them back, but not in their original shape. Rather, they are being changed, raised, and made whole. It's not the version you requested, the one that is truly intended for you. And this time, you won't have to ask for it. You won't need to pursue it. You won't need to demonstrate your worth. The items that are on their way are not incentives for good work. They are inherited. Additionally, inheritances are given to you. They are not earned. That is the meaning of Augst 3St. A heavenly unlock, not just a date on the calendar. A point in time when the writings in the scrolls of eternity are finally allowed to come to life in the physical world. Therefore, maintain your composure, your sense of reality, and your vigilance because, in the most mundane moment, everything will change and you will sense it. Your chest will get constricted. It could seem like time is slowing down. You may find yourself crying uncontrollably. It happens that way. Your body reacts before your intellect can comprehend when heaven hits earth in your favor. And allow it to happen when it does. Avoid depriving yourself of the blessing. Don't minimize its attractiveness. It's not a coincidence. God, call it what it is. Because He's going to give you a surprise that will make your worst anxieties go silent. When the miracle occurs this time, you won't be worried about how long it will last. Knowing that it has been given to you by God will bring you serenity. And this time, nobody can take what's rightfully yours. Before it came, the enemy attempted, but was unable to destroy you. You're still here, thus he failed. You're still upright. This is still being read by you. I know you won because of that. You now need to get ready to walk in that triumph. You can no longer shrink to accommodate other people. You can no longer claim to have something by accepting crumbs. You are no longer permitted to feel guilty for making the decision to heal yourself. This is the time of year to ascend gracefully, quietly, and with confidence. Furthermore, you owe no one an explanation. They didn't sit with you in the dark, so they won't comprehend. They didn't witness you struggling to regain your faith after losing it. They were unaware of how difficult it was to survive when everything inside you seemed to be dying. However, God saw. And for that reason, He is the one giving you the reward. Not systems, not people, not external approval, but inside divine healing. You'll know it was Him when this miracle comes to pass. There won't be any inquiries. Everything will be too exact. You'll cry because the time, the people, the resources, and the restoration will all work together so flawlessly. And don't resist when you do. Let the tears fall. Allow your soul to breathe. Allow your body to experience the sensation of being viewed by heaven. This is recognition, not merely healing. God is telling you that He has seen every moment of your suffering. And God increased your strength while others might have lessened your suffering. What no one else saw, He saw. And for all you went through in secret, He's now rewarding you in public. I want you to start living as though the miracle has already arrived as Augst 3St draws near. Talk differently, have different expectations, and walk differently. You have changed since even a week ago. The Spirit has already changed in a sacred way. Maintaining the energy that enables the miracle to land is now your responsibility. Don't reduce your energy level only to fit in with your environment. Avoid reverting to old habits merely to make people feel at ease. Keep your head up. Remain concentrated. Remain firm but gentle. Since you're not merely holding out for something sacred, something divinely inspired, something that will transform not just your life, but also the lives of everyone around you is in your possession. This is why it's so crucial. You needed to find this message for activation as well as comfort. The miracle required your consent. Your soul required the affirmation. And now that you have it, prepare yourself because it won't come silently. You'll chuckle through your tears and exclaim, "Only God could have done this." You'll be correct. It will come with strength, clarity, and such perfect timing. Thus only God was involved. And like you, He has been anticipating this moment. And now that we've passed the threshold between awareness and activation, your spirit has to be shown something more profound. Heaven was still operating covertly, which is why it has remained concealed up until this point. Not because you weren't prepared. You were never cursed or forgotten, which is why parts of your life felt inexplicably closed. Your calling was too great to be opened too soon, that's why. A door that is opened too soon becomes a trap, but a door that is opened in divine time becomes a springboard. God wasn't waiting for you. You were in His grasp. Because what He is about to release will carry a weight of power and legacy that few can handle. He was enveloping your future in layers of spiritual protection. You see, this is about more than just a pleasant miracle. It concerns a movement that you are meant to spearhead. And heaven was aware that your life would change once this kicked in. Your words have the power to change the mood. Generational trends will be broken by your choices. Darkness in rooms where others have kept silent will start to tremble at your very presence. The fight was so fierce because of this. Because of this, the strikes came from unexpected areas. Because before you even believed it, the adversary could smell what you were about to become. And that's why your survival is so foretelling. It wasn't meant for you to get this far. Your silence was part of hell's plan. Darkness has placed wagers on your suicide. But he had a timeline, God, oh God. And he didn't leave, even when you gave up hope and attempted to settle, even when you tried to destroy it with your own fear. You were covered by him. He remained. This was the moment he waited for. The time when you would at last have faith in yourself as well as in him. In the person he made. In the person who was never intended to fit in. Before you were ever broken, he anointed you. In the person who was selected before to being injured. That one is you. And now is the time. Your spirit is aligning, which explains why you've been desiring clarity, calm, and quiet lately, and why your energy seems different. You're becoming more frequent. Your spirit has entered a state of preparation, and revelation follows that preparedness. You will begin to notice things that others do not. Even before someone speaks, you may sense their intentions. You'll be able to tell when to wait and when to move. And you'll do it so effortlessly that everyone will consider you fortunate. You'll know the truth, though. It's not luck. Legacy is what this is. This is God's way of making up for everything you went through while no one else saw how hurt you were. Since the miracle is more than merely symbolic, we now need to discuss what to anticipate next. It will show up in actual, observable, and indisputable ways. There will be opportunities that look too good to be true, but they will exist. There will be financial resources that appear to be accurate but mathematically illogical. When the right people express the things your heart has been longing to hear, conversations will begin. It won't be flattering either. It will be in line. This is the crucial element. Refrain from overanalyzing the blessings. A season where ease takes the place of struggle is upon you. You won't need to work as hard as you formerly did. For the wilderness, that is. The promised land is here. And obedience leads to overflow in the promised land. The test has already been passed by you. It's time for the prize now. However, there won't be any fear associated with the reward this time. You're not going to ruin it. You won't ignore it. Heaven has announced that you are ready, so you won't doubt it. And nothing can undo what God says. Archangel Michael has stayed near you during the previous few weeks for this reason. It's possible that the tension affected your sleep. During the calm times, you might have felt observed. During your late-night strolls, or when gazing out your window, you might have even felt something behind you. You didn't imagine that. It was the presence of angels. It was heavenly monitoring. You were being protected from uncertainty rather than peril. Because heaven must step in to shield a miracle this important from the pervasiveness of fear. Fear that lies, this can't last. Fear that murmurs, you don't deserve this. But those voices are not yours. They weren't. They are now being permanently silenced. You are reading more than simply a prophecy. A contract exists. What you have been promised is real and on the way, according to heaven's agreement. The seal is on Augst 3St. It is the date that God has decreed. Even while not everything that happens that day will be apparent at once, you may be sure that everything starts to change in the spirit world on that day. You will be the beneficiary of decisions. We'll reverse the delays. There will be secrets exposed. Access will be denied to those who spoke against you. Most significantly, your spirit will start to recall your true self. Because you regain authority when you remember, that memory is crucial. You no longer seek approval to shine. You no longer wait for indications that you've been selected. You just stroll in it. And you are pursued by miracles when you walk in it. They are drawn to your light, not because you need them. You weren't made to survive all the time. God never intended that. You were made for power, for peace, and for a purpose. And heaven is releasing you into the season for which you were created now that you have experienced enough wilderness to appreciate your fate. To you, it will feel like home, but to others, it will appear like an unexpected favor. You will once more feel secure in your body, in your spirit, and in your knowledge, and that stability will serve as the foundation for all other things. Your connections will become sacrosanct. Your investment will grow. Your self-assurance will spread like wildfire. Additionally, your entire life will serve as a testament. So, keep this close at hand. Preserve this insight as you would a rain-soaked fire. Preserve it. Don't talk. Avoid discussing it too soon. For approval, don't post about it. Allow this to grow quietly because your light will be unmistakable when it's time and fully developed. By then, your eyes will be on God and not the audience, so you won't care who questioned you. You were picked every time. They called you all the time. At last, you have been activated.